of you know that I came here from Oxford. I want to talk about how we actually build an effective higher education hub for Chatham-Kent. Universities are great things to have. I mean, I say that as an Oxford person, but a lot of people in this city have been talking about building a university here, getting a university here, getting more people to stay here, bringing people in as professors. Student housing will lift the housing market. We have very big labour market needs that we're actually having great difficulties meeting. And above all, they're a huge trigger for economic growth, solve our problems. But who's got 500 million bucks? Actually, nobody. They're very, very expensive. And then you've got to assemble the land parcels, and then you launch a new university into a very highly competitive market. Do we do a branch campus instead, as Brantford has done, as Stratford has done? This could be done for about 1/10 of the cost. Still, 50 million bucks. But they tend to be, in one academic niche, they tend to be beholden to their parent university. And they can't cut costs. And we need to cut costs. Family incomes are going down for most of us and not up. Whereas fees are going up. We need to find something that is much, much more efficient, which gets us the outcomes without the price tag. Fees are rising. Student housing costs are rising. Student debt burdens are rising. University running costs are rising. Government's putting more and more money into this, not actually getting very much more out. And the result of this is that we have a system that's become very commoditized, where people are trading money for letters after their names rather than necessarily foreign education. And graduates having a harder time finding jobs, and businesses are getting poorer quality graduates. And we're seeing problems with teaching, we're seeing problems with student behavior. So let's rethink, let's get the answers we need. Distance learning has come such a long way in the last 20 years that we can use it now. We can fill some of the gaps that still exist. We can change that. We can use this crisis, as Maureen said earlier. Let's not lose it. Let's take advantage of this crisis. We can go online now. We can get degrees from Stanford. We can get degrees from Oxford. We can get degrees from MIT. We have Athabasca in Canada. We have the resources. But what do we need to tie it together? Career counselling, tutorial support so when you're stuck you can go face to face. Somebody to help direct people in the right places, and a peer group environment and the IT resources. These things we can do in Chatham-Kent with our money, without outside help. We can do this for less than 10 million. Small study area and offices, smaller number of academic advisors who can point people in the right direction, the IT equipment, additional resources for the library. And we put the money we saved on all those bricks into courses, into teaching, getting people the qualifications they want, offering a really, really wide range of courses. We couldn't possibly do it with a branch campus. Offering access to world-class teaching that we can't necessarily bring here for every subject. And people then can study without having to leave. And you can't do that if you're a young parent. You can't do that if you're a mature student. You can't do that if you have elderly parents to look after. And you can't do that if you've already got debt. The current system doesn't work very well for people, and we need to change this. And that brings benefits for our communities, and it will bring benefits for the universities themselves. We can fill in the need for proctored exams for distance learning. We can increase course completion rate by providing support, and that will actually bring people into our community and nurture entrepreneurship here. It will prevent social exclusion here because it reduces the barrier to entry, and it minimises our capital risk and economic overhead. So let's focus on the outcomes. Let's get the benefits of a tutorial and collegiate university. Not these universities where you have 1,000 students and a professor on a videotape, but a proper university at a fraction of the cost, and get Chatham-Kent ahead of the game. Let's put some of the money we'd otherwise spend on bricks into an endowment fund to pay fees. You can get fees from universities for doing proctoring. We might even be able to talk universities into actually helping the distance learning institutions into helping fund this. We might get membership fees, participation fees, but we want to minimise that, and we want to minimise ongoing government funding. But let's take the first step. As Brantford did to get its university up and running, let's create an educational society that's at arm's length from government, is a non-profit, start building that scholarship foundation, start creating the course information. We need your help to do this. Join the society. This is a business model. We need help to refine this business model, to build the community partnerships, to do the outreach to distance learning universities, to build the political will and the donations. Because the cost of inaction is seeing our community stagnate, as we saw earlier. We cannot afford inaction. We must act. Thank you.